And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy, Icarus, Wakanda Forever Great.
And it's your homeboy, Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Wakanda Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
We back.
Oh my gosh.
When you try to surprise TJ and forget lines.
Today, obviously, we're talking about Wakanda Forever. We can skip all the intro bullshit.
Okay.
Where are we at with themes? Our overall themes, I think, about intersectional dynamics, slavery, grief. Is there anything that you think we should have?
Those three were the most pivotal.
When I think about intersectional dynamics, right? So for those of you that don't know what intersectionality is, it's just when you talk about your identity, there are multiple facets of your identity that are going to cross over in different realms. So for example, I'm a black male. My intersections are, I come from a military family. I come from a family of folks that have college degrees. So I'm not first generation in that regards. And so forth and so on, right? So those are all some intersections that I have. And the power that I have in this country will change based off of my intersection. When I think about the intersectional dynamics of this particular movie, we're looking at black folks and we're looking at Hispanic folks. The intersections between Hispanic culture and black culture is that there is both suffrage through colonization. And with that theme of colonization in this movie, what are they trying to say with the intersectional dynamics here?
They're trying to say we have the same struggles. How we attack them are maybe different.
We as who?
We as black people, we as Hispanic people.
Okay.
Understand the battle of systemic things going on in a certain way. Oppression in general. Now, with the power that I have, what do I do with that? And I will not allow the safety of what we are or what my people need to be circumvented by anything that you got going on.
My view on this is that what they're trying to say is people of color have two different battles to fight. We have to decide how we want to interact with each other to fight systemic oppression and to combat that oppression. But we also have to fight with the oppressors as well. And so that's where it gets concerning for me, right? Is the movie highlighted the problem and sort of came to a resolution at the end, but it didn't spend a lot of time touching on how we need to focus on a different fight.
True, but I also think that's mostly because it was a B story. And I told you what I feel is the A story, and we'll get to that. That was their A story. Like, the B story is they're going to build that up with whatever is going to happen to and or with Wakanda to that point, to an actual answer.
My issue with that is it's too important to be a B story, even though the grief part is a big deal. You can't just at the end say, hey, why don't you join forces and stop being so bitter so you can, you know what I mean? Like, why don't you just step together and then tell your folks to be more kind? Especially when we are, the intersectional dynamics between people of color is that we're fighting for similar resources or similar ground for power. This is why we have issues with one another oftentimes. And that's where I feel like this movie failed to like address a little bit of that. But they didn't do a really good job of showing that the infighting is not what our focus should be.
I didn't see it that way only because I think that given our conversation in the last episode about like violence in hip hop and so on and so forth. Like a lot of times that is the actual answer. People just don't like it. When she's like, oh, I'm bitter, I shouldn't kill you. We should work together to try to do these things and be a power together. I am making a choice that I can kill you right here, but the only other thing that I have to offer you if you will not step down is death. And I need you to step down because we need to work together. We'll do everything that we can to protect you, but this is the only thing that you currently understand in this moment.
I think that's where I disagree, is that it's not a binary sort of option. Mm-hmm. It's not cooperate or be killed. It's cooperate because we have bigger fish to fry. And the other option is that we do it separately, which hasn't been fruitful for us.
But I also say that because we're also dealing with the fact that the infighting didn't help and resulted to certain things. She's having to make a decision based off the murder of her mother from this man.
I feel you, but I'm not talking like...
No, I'm saying like if that was removed, I can go where you're going, but that plot point in that way is gonna make it that.
Yeah, I feel you, but like... This is what I'm saying is wrong with movies.
Right.
Is that they make it so it's so story driven because it needs to be, right, to sell tickets. What it's missing is the nuance. This is a nuanced conversation when we're talking about the whole of things, and the movie made it a binary choice. And so I think they could have portrayed that in a different way.
Yeah, and
they could have brought the nemesis, what's his name? Namor. They could have brought Namor to the United Nations meeting that they had. Okay,
because I was just about to ask you what would be the way you would have handled it story-wise to give what you were looking for.
And they could have said, instead of them just being protectors of them, they could have said, all right, so look, we're partners, and this is what we experience as people of color. You pit us against one another. You blame things on one of us so the other one has to defend themselves. And then we both end up losing as folks of color, right? So I think that should have been interjected in the story in some sort of way once they came to their resolution.
Like, I do wish for those things in terms of resolution.
You got to be ready to burn the whole world if you're ready to kind of take on the colonizer. And I think it's not a fruitful solution, right?
No, because then you just end up, I've always said you end up in the same place if you treat people the way that they treat you.
Right. You become the oppressor.
Yeah.